Hello everybody, and I hope you're well. Friday. I'm interested in how to win over or embarrass, point holes in the arguments of racists, homophobes, transphobes, bigots. I'm taken first of all that in the UK here this week there's been a discussion in Parliament about banning from entry the US Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Sorry to introduce a late note of humour on a Friday, on the grounds that he's a hate preacher because of his views on Muslims, Mexicans, gays. Apparently we have excluded here in the UK in the past Muslim hate preachers, black and white racist Americans, and more recently I think a Dutch right-wing Islamophobic person. Well, there wasn't a vote, but the reactions of the members of Parliament were interesting. It takes me back really to October 2009, when the then leader of the then right-wing racist British Nationalist Party, Nick Griffin, caused some controversy because the BBC weren't sure whether he should appear on their and maybe the nation's flagship discussion programme called Question Time, because he would be given exposure, he would incite racial hatred and dissension. Well, the BBC decided in the end that they would invite him, and his general ignorance and his lack of understanding of issues, he's not very bright it turned out, led to the panel and the members of the public to shred him to pieces, quite rightly. The party no longer exists. Now, moving on to my once favourite person, Germaine Greer, the founder of modern feminism. That'll get me into trouble, I know. Who published in 1970 a book called The Female Eunuch. Now, she's been banned recently from attending a discussion, not on TERFs, come to that in just a second, because her views in a university were felt not to be appropriate because she is now a TERF. She denies trans women genuineness as women. She says they're women and they never will be because they don't have dicks, seeming not to understand that, I mean, simple things really, that your gender is in your head, not in your bits. So the university decided they wouldn't invite her after all. Now, I'm all for these people actually being given a forum, a public forum. Donald Trump can come here, Wilders could have come here, Germaine Greer should have been allowed to say her piece, as did Nick Griffin, because in a university particularly, there's no right not to be offended. Surely, if not in a university, in your teens, when you should be exploring and being exposed to every idea, you can't expect not to be offended. That's where everything should be challenged and examined. So I think only by exposing these people to public scrutiny, to close questioning, to ridicule if that's what they deserve, then their racism, their transphobia, their homophobia will be shown up for what it is. Now, why do you think this matters? This matters because only when other people, the lookers-on, they're the ones who matter, see that these attitudes are unacceptable, will young gay couples feel they can show public affection in public places without being shouted at or worse. That's really what this is all about for me, that people can behave properly and affectionately in public without being taken apart for it. Well, that's all a bit heavy for Friday, so hey, let's lighten this up a bit. Still water because it's a dry month, remember. If it's not for you, enjoy your first drink 6 o'clock on a Friday, and enjoy your weekend, and maybe lots of comments, subscribe, like, all of that. Okay, and see you next week. Bye bye.